strip. I'm in. And this is a tech I'm going to show you on how to transfer to get a full canopy flush. These are almost full canopy flushes. But if your first flush doesn't look like this, where it's just wall-to-wall mushrooms coming up, then try this tech and see if you can increase your yields. I'm going to show you what to do here. Okay, so this is my substrate. This is core verm gypsum, and I've weighed it out. It's about 1,200 grams of substrate. This is a 14-quart tub, so I do a little smaller scale. They're easier to work with for me. But the first thing you do after you pasteurize your substrate and let it cool to below 80 degrees Fahrenheit, you want to take out about 2 cups of it. So just grab a good 2 cups, not quite 2 cups, maybe about 2 cups of it. There we go. Okay. So the trick to getting a full canopy flush is that you have a 50-50 mix of your grain spawn and your substrate. And so this is 1,200 grams of grain spawn that I'm going to add now into this. And you want to keep out about 2 cups or half a cup. A cup and a half to 2 cups of Okay. So anyway, what you do is you want to grind this together and mix it really well, and you want to separate all the grains into their individual pieces. So you're just going to break this up and mix really, really super well. And if you're getting spots when you colonize where it's uncolonized, it's because you're probably not mixing it well enough. You really got to mix your grain spawn into the substrate very well. I spend sometimes like 5 minutes doing this. I have a video here that's on a time limit, so I'm going to try to do this as fast as possible just by breaking up and mixing as I go. But all these big chunks, you want to get those smaller. So that's what I'm doing here. This is a 50-50 mix. 1,200 grams of substrate and 1,200 grams of grain spawn. And this is what is going to get you a full canopy flush. So let me see if I can break this up real quick while you listen to Led Zeppelin. There we go. And I got an alarm going off somewhere. I can hear it. Great. Okay. So once you get this all thoroughly mixed together and all the little chunks broken up, you're going to pat it down. I'm going to get this a little bit better mixed. I really can't emphasize enough how important it is to just keep mixing it thoroughly so it's just completely dispersed in, the grain is completely dispersed into the substrate. And that's how you get a full healthy colonization. You know, if you get little spots that aren't colonized, or your surface, you got one spot that's not colonized, it's because the grain doesn't mix. But you're going to flatten this out now. Get it as flat as possible. And then pat down. Just gently. Gently pat down. Okay. So now we're going to take about 16 ounces, a 16-ounce jar, and I'm going to put this grain spawn on top. Okay, this is going to make a layer. And here we go. Okay. Woohoo! There we go. Okay, so now all we're going to do with this is crumble it up, but it's only going to lay on this surface layer. We're not going to disturb what's underneath and what we've patted down. We want to get this fully covered. Okay? Here we go now. Okay. What I'm making sure here is that I got all the chunks busted up. See how it's such a layer? That's what we want it to look like. Okay, how much time do I got? Okay, good. Okay. Now what I do once I got this on top and spread out evenly, I go around the edges with my fingers. See if we can capture this. And I tuck it in. Tuck in your corners and just all the way around. All right. So once you get your corners tucked in, I can get this. You're gonna pat it down again, but this time you're gonna do it a little firmer. You're gonna do
good stuff, but you can't seem to skip over the bag.
You're gonna pat it down, and then you're gonna press this, and you're gonna press it so the corners kind of fill in now, because you've made a little like canal in that area where you have, and you're just gonna push it to the sides and let it fill itself in. Ooh, squeaky. All right. We got that? Okay. So that's what she looks like. Completely covered with grain spawn on the top. And now we're going to case it. With the 2 cups that we took out earlier, we're going to take that and we're going to put it back on. But we're going to only want to lay like a ½ an inch of this, if even. Just really lightly cover your grain spawn with the substrate. This is what is going to create a full canopy most of the time. I mean, these 2 bins that I showed you at the beginning, they're not really a full canopy flush, because then they'd be corner to corner, wall to wall mushrooms. You don't get that all the time, but you want to get as close to that as possible to get your yields up. Here we go. Almost done here. I have my head's up, but I can't do this without it. All right. There we go. See how it's covered? Okay. Get all of the grain pretty much covered. It doesn't matter if there's a few little specks showing through. All right. This is how it's done. So I do the Martha Tech. I put the lids on these. Let's see. Crash. I put a lid on this for 24 hours only. As soon as I see that colonization hit the surface layer, I take the lids off and I induce fruiting conditions right away. And this is the result. So, if you want a good transfer tech, looking for a full canopy flush, this is a good one to use. I don't know what you call it. I guess it's Tripper's Tech. I don't know. But I'm sure other people have used it or know about this. I think I've been doing this for years, so I don't even know where I picked it up. But anyway, that's it. That's the transfer tech. Hope y'all having a good day. This is Trip, and I'm out.